boys and girls. Tonight we're going to watch a video on figurative language. Figurative language is essential in books and stories. Figurative language helps express meaning and helps set the mood and the tone. First of all, we need to identify what imagery is. Imagery is an image painted with words that appeals to the reader's five senses. All authors use imagery to help you as a reader be able to paint a movie in your head. Imagery helps us comprehend texts. We remember images more than we remember words. Authors do this by identifying a taste, smell, sight, touch, or even a sound. Writers will also use figurative language to create images as well. One type of figurative language is a simile. A simile is a comparison between two things using like or as. Her eyes are as bright as the sun. In this example, the author is comparing her eyes to the sun by using the word as. Another type is a metaphor. A metaphor is a comparison between two things that does not use like or as. My brother is a bear in the mornings. They're comparing brother and bear, but not using like or as. Personification is describing an object as having human-like qualities or capabilities. The wind screamed as its cold fingers scratched my windows. Right? So one, the wind is screaming, and then the author is saying that the wind has cold fingers that are scratching against the windows. Allusion is a reference to a person, place, or event from history, literature, religion, mythology, sports, science, or pop culture. My brother loves science and getting the reputation as the real Einstein. So he's saying that they're comparing the brother to Einstein. A hyperbole uses exaggeration to emphasize a point, expresses strong emotion, or it can create a comic effect. They are not meant to take literally. I'm so tired I could sleep for 1,000,000 years. They're saying that the person could sleep forever, but essentially we know that no one can sleep forever. All readers are writers, and all writers are readers. To get a better idea of figurative language, let's practice by writing. Imagery is a great tool for writers because it helps make the story come to life. Good writers show, they don't tell. Here is an example. By telling, we can say, Saturday mornings at my house are really nice and relaxing. That's pretty boring. I want you to practice in your note sheet by showing a story about a Saturday morning, but make sure you identify the taste, the smell, the sight, the touch, and the sound. Go ahead and pause the video and practice. Make sure you do this. We will share out tomorrow. The imagery that comes from a piece of writing also contributes to the mood. Remember when we talked about mood? Now let's practice identifying figurative language while reading. Pause the video and read the passage. Follow the prompts and answer the questions on your note sheet. Another type of figurative language is magic realism. Magic realism uses figurative language to build a story, add tension, and make you, as the reader, infer. Magic realism is used in a lot of Latin American stories, just like the story that we read today. A lot of times, we just, as a reader, have to accept what the author is saying and say it is what it is. As readers, we take the extraordinary occurrences and we accept them as a reality because they are happening within a realistic fiction plot. We allow ourselves to accept the magic from within the story. Often, we as readers get caught up with magic realism and fantasy. It is very, very different. Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, and the Pretty series are not examples of magic realism. Magic is an element of the story. However, in our story Box House in the Snow, magic is not a part of this story. Instead, something in a very realistic setting becomes almost magical. When authors use magic realism, they typically create a highly realistic setting that is invaded by something supernatural. As a reader, we must accept the reality of the magic and figure out why the author implied the reality. Once again, we have to look past the literal meaning and understand why this is important in the story. Authors' techniques when using magic realism. They take characters and make them magical. For example, in Stuart Little, the mouse lives within a very realistic setting, a family. However, the mouse can do a lot of different things. Other times, the plot may shift and something magical may happen, just like in our story, Box House in the Snow. Magical events occur and the author moves on as if nothing magical happens. Take a minute and try to think of other occurrences when magic just occurred, but this magic was not a part of the story. Try to jot down some ideas. We will talk about this tomorrow. Please make sure your notes are complete, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening.